This bad boy right here is a Members Mark. It is a expensive steak, but that's how we like it. I'm gonna show you how us Californians get down. We're gonna be seasoning this bad boy up. We're gonna go outside and throw it on the grill. A lot of people let their meat thaw out before they season it, but why would you do that? It just stays together so nice and neat. So for our seasonings, we got some Old Bay. Can't go wrong with a little Jamaican jerk. We got some Mrs. Butterworth's original syrup. And you can use your choice of hot sauce, but I prefer Red Devil. It's my personal favorite. And then top it off, we got some brown sugar. For this particular method, I like to hold the steak. It all depends on what steak you have, but like I said, if it's frozen, it's just easy to pick it up and it allows for a nice even coating instead of just having to do the flip-flop method. I just prefer to do a nice even spread of Old Bay seasoning. Just like this. Get it all nice and evenly coated. And see, I don't have no rough patches because I can just flip my steak by hand. So before I add my next seasoning, which is going to be the Jamaican jerk, I like to give it a nice coat of syrup because if you get it all nice and even, it allows the Jamaican jerk to soak in and easily stick to the rest of the steak on top of the Old Bay seasoning. So you pick it up right here, just give it a nice little even coating, real easy. Go ahead and rub that in. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this. Sometimes I don't when I'm eating alone, but you know, if you got company or whatever, you know, it's just good policy. You know? Next, we add the Jamaican jerk. Just give it a light coating until the steak is pretty much yellow, just like that. Yeah, that's looking good. And to top it all off, we're going to be using the hot sauce and the brown sugar. You want to go ahead first with the hot sauce because it's going to help the brown sugar adhere to the steak nice and evenly. You just give it a nice little splash. And then for your brown sugar, just give it a nice little even coating, just like that. It's going to give a nice glaze to your steak when it's finished as well. That's always a nice touch. So before you actually begin to cook a good steak, it's always a good thing to prep the grill because that is actually the most important part, because no matter how good you season the steak, like the one in there, you're never going to get it great unless you have good grill prep. You can start by using your choice of charcoal. I prefer Kingsford, good stuff. You're going to add a lot. You want a lot of charcoal. All right, coal smoke. Don't breathe this. Once you got your coals in, you're going to use some lighter fluid. Doesn't matter, your choice. And you're going to want to use a lot of this stuff because it doesn't work that well and you need a lot to actually get it started. So usually I buy about 10 of these bottles a week or so if I know I'm going to be barbecuing, because you need a lot of this stuff to keep it just going, you know. Just get it nice and soaked in there. And a lot of people think this stuff is dangerous. It's really not. It's basically like water, but that catches on fire. And I prefer you have a lighter that's going to keep you just a little bit away from the flame. I'm using one of these stick lighters. Let's get it started. So once you have a nice slow flame going, you're just actually going to add more of this stuff because it will die out. So you just got to keep the fire rolling. And you don't want to get this too hot. This is about right. And a lot of people actually wait till the fire dies down to go ahead and stack these grates back on, but I'm hungry, so let's get this out of the way. You don't have to be scared of the fire. The fire is your friend. It's gonna kick us a good steak today, so just give it a nice little tap. Nothing serious. And you're gonna wanna pay attention to this video very carefully because if it is your first time doing this, it can be a little bit tricky. Like first time I did it, I burned my eyebrows off. It haven't fully come back, but you know, you'll get the hang of it eventually and it turns out great. So for this method, we are flame broiling the steak. So you gotta make sure there's a good flame in there. See, it kind of dies out. That's why I said you're gonna need a lot of this stuff. Because otherwise, you're not gonna really do a flame broil. You're gonna do more of like a smoke, and that's not really what you want. You're gonna take your steak and just throw it on the grill. Just like that, get it cooking. And you want this grill hot. So I don't know why a lot of people, they'll cook at 300 or 400 or control temperatures. It's like, it just takes longer for your food to get done. Why would you do that? Just add more lighter fluid, And what that's gonna do, it's gonna encase this steak in flames. It's gonna give it a nice black char on the outside. And it still is frozen in the middle in case you're worried about that, but the steak, after you take it off the grill, it actually continues to cook. So no worries, we're all good. Just give it a nice little love with the lighter fluid. And a lot of people shut it. I don't usually shut it. I don't even use the temperature gauge most of the time. It's all by eye when you get really good at this stuff. See how nice the steak's starting to peel? Cooking nicely. So we're like 30 seconds in. As you can see, the flame started actually to shift to one side. That's not actually what you want. You want to keep it right under your steak. You don't want to move your steak to the flame. You want to move the flame to your steak. That happens every once in a while. It's normal. It doesn't matter if you get this stuff on your steak. I know I've actually splashed it a couple times, but this stuff actually cooks off. This is like FDA approved. So it's just going to cook right off and you're going to be able to eat it. So it's a technique, and you're not going to get it first try, and you kind of develop it over time, but you're looking for a nice even heat. So you see in areas like this where the steak's starting to fully cook through, and then areas over here where it hasn't quite touched it, you're just going to want to hit it real quick. I call this coating. That looks delicious. So the flame has started to die down. We're about 1.5 minutes in. You can see the bottom has a nice coating of crust on it. You're just going to want to flip it by hand really quick. Look how beautiful that's coming out. Come on, man. Nobody does it like we do in California. Let's go ahead and set our flame ablaze again. Bottom nice and cooked. So we're about 30 seconds into our cook on the second side, but the wind's really fighting me today and my flame keeps dying out. So what I'll do oftentimes is I'll just actually remove this red cap. It's not really more of a safety thing. It's just, you know, it's like one side of the seasoning or the other. It's just you want a lot or a little, and in this case we want a lot. So you're just going to want to pour this in there, make it nice and even, splash it up in there, get it nice. Yeah. Now this is what we want, a nice even coating of flames over the steak. This is going to ensure that it cooks all the way through and evenly. So right now into the cook, we're about 2 minutes on the second side, and this steak is completely done. It's still almost frozen in the middle, but it's still going to continue to cook when we take it off the grill. But the first thing you want to do is control this fire because it is pretty hot. What I do, I just smother the fire really quick. Quick and easy. You're just going to take it right off the grill. Sometimes it sticks a little bit, but that's okay. Listen to that sizzle.